So Tops, it's official. Tops and WWE have reunited, and it feels so good for a long-term trading card partnership. Are you a trading card, Mark?
I'm not. One of my good friends is, though. What actually the guy I went to the show with last night is said, hey, if nothing else, Tops is mainstream. I mean, if that's not mainstream, I don't know what is. But people try to say that WWE is not going mainstream. Okay.
So here are the Lucha brothers, and I think this is recently, dude. And they're meeting Stone Cold. Maybe this is a long time ago. Someone correct me, but yeah, here's Penta and Ray meeting Stone Cold. What?
This is you remember your podcast? I heard your podcast.
Yeah.
And he has a hit.
God! That's awesome.
This is for you, sir.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I couldn't believe you said that. That's one of my favorite gimmicks going right now.
Damn, they're popping Austin. They're gonna fit right into WWE, bro.
Dude, really? That wasn't me. Yeah. Oh man, thank you very much. God dang, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
I wish I had something.
Great, pal.
Yeah, there's no way to date that. I mean, Stone Cold's looked the same for the last 15 years, and they're both wearing masks. There's no way to
WWE Shinsuke Nakamura successfully defeated Ulka Sasaki. Oh, I got his name so wrong. What did I say before? Usaki, I think. At today's Noah. It's Ulka Sasaki at today's Noah, the New Year 2025 event. This is a former UFC fighter here, pro wrestler now. Let's take a look. Hopefully Noah don't Don Steven us.
Getting paid now. Oh, he can't see where he is. Kinshasa! 1, 2.
Oh, he's got he missed it him.
Missed it him, yeah, for the US title.
Yeah.
As well, I believe. That he's carrying the US title around in Noah. That shit's gangster, man.
And that entrance is fire live. Like the blood moon that they have coming up for him and the way he walks out, like it's really cool.
Instead of the American holding the U.S. belt as well, it's like, no, I'm the Japanese dude repping the U.S. country, coming to Noah and whooping ass. I love it. That stuff's amazing. Alicia Taylor will be shifting to announcing on Raw, and as such, Lillian Garcia will be shifting to SmackDown. How was Lillian? Yes, so this is correct by PWI. Yep. How was she live? Were you disappointed? Did you want to hear Alicia Taylor, or do you give up to me? I'm a Lillian Mark just from growing up. So
that's what it was. Honestly, yeah. I didn't know that was for sure. My buddy who I went with yesterday, Brian, he told me that. I was like, yeah, like that's great. Cause yeah, like Lillian's my youth. You know, I mean, I grew up I started watching wrestling really like hardcore in like 95, 96. And so, yeah, Lillian's like my youth. That was great. Yeah. She was awesome.
Janelle Grant's attorney indicated in new court filings that Grant plans to modify her lawsuit against WWE, Vince McMahon, and John Laurinaitis. So now she's modifying the lawsuit. Some people are speculating WWE will just be dropped from this entirely. So Noah GHC's Naomichi Marufuji says he has received a message from WWE Shawn Michaels talking about Noah, which he's happy about. Through a certain person, I received a message from Shawn Michaels. The contents are, I'm happy. So Marufuji, the way Liger came in or whatever, we're going to see Marufuji in NXT, even if it's a goddamn one-off at a PLE. He puts Trick over, he wrestles Paige, or the way Liger came in and wrestled like Tyler Breeze, we're going to see a Marufuji come in from Noah, I'm sure, if that's what they're all alluding to and everything. And who knows? I don't think Marufuji's a big enough name to like show up in the Rumble, but if he did, it's not like people would be mad at it either. If there's like a slot open and it's like have Marufuji come in, and I don't know. Do you think main roster's too much, or could you see a crossover with NXT there?
I mean, I would think it would start with NXT, and if it gets over, you can maybe do main roster. But also too, like, who wouldn't want to work with Shawn?
Yeah, because I think Marufuji's got he's 45. WWE Raw full matches on YouTube, and they cropped Moxley out, and WWE really cropped out Moxley on this thumbnail. I quote tweeted this and I was like, dude, WWE's so petty for that. Like, this is super petty. And then some guy sent me like 3 replies in a row. Like, how the f are you standing? You must be mentally disabled to stand Triple H. I'm like, bro, I called him petty for this. What are you talking about? Because realistically, like, who cares if you put the Shield? It's not like people are going to go watch AEW because Dean Ambrose is there with the Shield, right? That's petty. This thumbnail does go hard though. Let's be honest. This is
Yeah.
a hard ass thumbnail. But as someone who makes thumbnails, this goes hard. But all I'm saying is that it's their prerogative, and if they had to put Ambrose in it, sickos would all be like, "Oh, they put him in there because why do you think they put him in there?" And then wackos would be like, "Oh, who's this plumber?" Like, it's just getting memed either way, guys. Either way, tomato. It's getting memed no matter which way you put this into the universe. If Shield's going to be on this, because Moxley was a part of that. So I don't know. I just get a kick out of seeing all the reactions, I guess. But yeah, this is Tom Petty to cut Dean Ambrose out of the thing. Like, no one's going to watch AEW, but WWE is going to WWE. So it is what it is.
Although, with that video package they had on Raw, I mean, they had Big Show in there,
bro. They named people
in there,
Edge,
they had Jericho. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's pettiness, but there's also like,
Someone in the chat, Miracle, says, just thinking outside the box, maybe it's a time it was just Rollins and Reigns in the ring as tag champions. I would say that, but no, I don't think so, because of the way they're cut off. Yeah,
I was just gonna say, the way Roman's hand is cut off, it's because his hand's touching another hand.
Exactly, yeah, for sure. But no, I like the way you think. Optimistic. So here we go. Omos has a series of matches coming up. He's going 1 versus 2 handicap match against Alejandro and Kai Fujimura. So that's going down on the 12th. Amazing, bro. And then we have Omos in a tag match with Owada Yu, even though he's won the tag belts with this Owada Yu guy or someone else. I don't know. Yeah, either way, he's taking on Soya Manabu and Fujita K. And I'm down. He's got more than this. He's got like 5, 6, or 7 dates announced, something like that, in that range, just under 10. And dude, Omos is gonna come back, like mixing it up with Gable and shit. He'll be chain wrestling and doing heel hooks and going
Omos strong style. Oh, they killed him.
So NXT Level Up is reportedly being replaced by NXT Evolve. So do y'all remember that indie promotion Evolve that they were working with? That's where Austin Theory came from. That's where a lot of these guys had matches. They bought Evolve. They let Evolve sort of do their own thing. And they own the library and all that. Well, they're sort of mix and matching. They're almost doing what Phil Marks has been saying AEW should do. HBK listening, and Gabe Sapolsky will produce it. Sapolsky listening to PWT. Confirmed. But yeah, that is really cool, man. And the whole thing is, and Sapolsky, of course, like worked with Ring of Honor, right?
Yeah, and he was like Heyman's
protege.
Like Heyman's protege. Yes, that's the word I was looking for.
So Heyman's protege, a name everyone recognizes, worked, I think, in Ring of Honor. NXT is going to be NXT Evolve, and what it's going to be is like Evolve indie shows with the NXT brand. And then if they want to, they're going to film it all. And then what will they do, folks? They'll put it on Netflix, or they'll do something with it where it's just an episode of NXT Evolve will be like, here's this match from, we did a show over here in Nottingham. We did a show, because wasn't Evolve out of the UK as well, or no?
I don't think so. I think it was in the US.
Sorry. So I don't know if they're going to expand this to the UK or something, but let's say US based. Okay. Hey, we did a show in like Pensacola. Where's like a good indie town in Florida? I don't know.
Well, and then even too, you can have the WWE ID people be a part of those shows too.
That's what I'm saying.
How well they work with other stuff. It's so smart,
bro. And then you could even produce a show. It's an hour long or half hour long every week, and it's like got a few matches of, here's one that happened here, and here over this last month at NXT Evolve or whatever. And then basically you're running your own indies, and then this also helps the ID talent. NIL talent can then go mix it up in an indie setting, which I was saying before, there is value to doing the indie thing and the AEW thing and going to Japan. There's value in that you can't really learn. I like that NXT sort of like getting NIL, and they know how to train them, and they know how to train indie talent, and they know, right? But I didn't even see this. They're 10 steps ahead. And they're figuring out how to get Omos that Japanese experience, and how to get the NIL guys the indie Evolve experience and the wrestling indie style, and doing that setting. They're figuring it out. They already know how they're going to blend it all together and get everyone that experience of working in reality of wrestling, and then doing a Noah tournament. And then they're figuring that all out. It's brilliant. It's amazing. Yeah. Tony Khan could have did all this and been innovative in all of this, but instead he's around and
But instead he has zero originality.
Rampage with the Young Bucks playing Rampage, you know. But yeah, I'm hyped for this, and I'm not gonna be a mark and say, oh, I'm gonna go out of my way to watch. Yeah, I'm not gonna go out of my way to watch every NXT Evolve show. But like maybe if something compelling happens, maybe the first one I'll definitely check out. You know, I checked out Level Up a couple times just to see, you know, what it's all about.
Yeah,
I'm down.
It'll be on Netflix for you guys, and
that's what I mean.
Yeah,
and if
Peacock
they put it
for
right
the
there on
US.
Netflix and they say here's some WWE ID talent, I'm absolutely going to throw it on.
people are gonna check it out.
Folks, I check out OVW. I don't keep up with it every week like I was, or every few days like I was, but for a little while there last year. But that's what I mean. Evolve could be that thing. You know, who knows? I don't know. I'm curious and I'm super excited. And it seems like they're just really focused on developing talent for the future, which is good, because this is why we could have found ourselves in a situation where there's a bunch of old dudes, and not to like diss anyone, but Cody, Roman, they're all in their 40s. LA Knight, Punk, everyone's in their 40s and right, they're sort of aging out. And even though you can last longer in the wrestling business now, we have a bunch of 50-year-olds and then no new young talent that know what to do and can get over and like that. No, they got to figure it out. The next gen's there. We got Tiffy. We got it all laid out, you know?
Yeah, just watch NXT.
Yeah, with the NIL, with the WWE ID, it's like they got the next 20 years, at least something in place where even if it all goes to one day, let's say WWE just goes out of business out of nowhere, there's still like a whole generation of wrestlers that like learned this right. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying, but yeah, I'm so proud of focusing on the future. It's so key in pro wrestling, you know. WWE Survivor Series replay sees a shocking surge in pay-per-view buys over Christmas week. So people were hanging out with their family and they were like, oh, this WWE Survivor Series thing went down. Let's just buy this and watch it with our family because it was the last WWE pay-per-view. How cool is that?
Seems weird though. Like, wouldn't they just get Peacock? I guess depending on where they were.
Peacock, or they just bought a pay-per-view. They just saw it and were like, oh, we're sitting here with the family. Here's WWE. It's hot again. Boom. Or who knows? I don't know. Maybe they were playing it at theaters for all I fuck, at bars on replay for all I know. That's really cool, man. That's a cool thing. Speaking of crazy, there's this WWE title hanging here. I don't know where this is from. This is a decent design. I do like it. It's kind of modern. This looks like a fake though. This doesn't look like a real belt, really. Or maybe it does. I don't know. But the nameplates, I love those. And if this is the new title, some people are saying like this is some guy sitting from a production thing or something. We know that Cody and Kevin Owens are fighting. We see the graphic. If you look at the graphic for the match, it's like half the WWE modern title and then half the Winged Eagle. And what I love about this too is that everybody's like, Cody needs the Winged Eagle. Cody needs the Winged Eagle. But in the graphic, like, no, he's still associated with the modern belt, whereas the Winged Eagle is on the Owen side. And just that branding's very just smart as well.
Yeah.
You know, of just saying like, no, the present is still what is over. I don't know. I don't know if you guys, it's the little detailed subliminal things, but anyways, and then this belt says Cody Rhodes on a nameplate down here, which I would love if they bring back those little, instead of the side plates. Hey, the side plates or whatever, I get it. It's easier for toys. It's easier to manufacture, to reproduce. It's easier to go to a team with a plate of their team logo on it. I get it. It's easier to replicate 100 of those belts and then you can give one to any superstar. I get it. However, these engraved with your name on it, and I don't know, this title looks glorious. It looks like an amalgamation of the current title, the World Heavyweight title, and the Winged Eagle WWE title. We know that Cody and KO are fighting for that belt, those belts. They're going to pull the belts down. Maybe they unveil this as the new title. I doubt it would get leaked. Maybe this is a purposeful leak so that WWE can gauge how the WWE universe reacts to this, and then they know whether to pull the trigger on it. Yeah, they pay attention, dude, and they do stuff like this. They let little things out to see how people react so they can gauge and adjust moving forward to always keep everyone on their toes. And to me, if they switch to this, I wouldn't be mad whatsoever. However, I also wouldn't care if they just kept it the one that Cody has. I wouldn't care if they change it to something like this, although this kind of looks like the U.S. title on the side here, the sketch that this guy made.
With the eagle there,
Yeah, it just kind of looks like the U.S. title, I feel like. But yeah, either way, I'm cool with this. Chat can let me know if they like this belt design. Jake, do you like this, or are you like, nah, just stick with the Winged Eagle, bring that back, or just stick with what Cody has now?
I feel like the one that Cody has, they've really only had that for 2 years now, so I feel like it's got to go longer. And I mean, while the WWE logo is prevalent on that one, I think they really like having it as the main thing that you see on the championship belt. But
yeah,
I mean, that's fine. I'm not the biggest belt mark. I can pretty much be down with anything. Like, I like the Wing Eagle. I think it's very cool. I was more pumped about it because of how important it was to Cody, because he mentioned it well before even winning the title. So that was cool, but I mean, I don't really care.
AEW Dynamite, it's on January 1st. The debut on Max did 588,000. So what's the difference there in viewership than what they typically do? NXT did 626. However, it was still just on the CW. Cope. Yeah, I meant to put this in AEW probably, but either way, here's Edge, the rated R superstar here, Cope. What do you make of this all, Jake? Like, does this matter? So does this mean that this is like the same amount that we're watching Dynamite anyways, minus like 50,000? So let's say, do you think that 50,000, or let's even be generous, say 100,000 people went and watched it on Max?
No, I think more people watched college football because it was January 1st. I mean, you could ask that honestly, because that's a big college football day here.
And so NXT sort of like, I don't want to say it's a dip, 626. That's around their usual, or do they do more like 7?
I think they do 7 on like the bigger shows, but that was a taped show. And it was New Year's Eve.
Taped and college football, so it's like, okay. And we're not making excuses. 626 is like, okay, NXT, that's about their normal New Year's Eve. Dynamite was on New Year's Day.
Yeah, which is a really big college football day.
And it was the mother of all simulcasts, they called it. And so 588. And like, what do you think? I see people saying, 65K watched on Max, but there's no proof. I haven't seen anything solid about that proves
the only
that.
thing that I saw that seemed real was there was the top 10 list from Max's, like what Max top 10 for the week, and AEW was not on it, and they released that today. So I don't think that many people watch.
God damn it. Yeah, I think because this seems like 588. Oh, college football's on, and AEW did 588. That's about right.
Yeah.
So I don't know though, but I just don't. Now it's like whatever, it's on streaming. You guys want to make up? We have some sickos who just making up ratings and having fun with it. Hey, I say have that. Yeah, if it drives some wackos nuts or whatever, I'll lol at that too, LOL at that too. But yeah, I don't know. NXT wins again if you want to do because Meltzer's still trying to talk about how they're not in competition, but they are competition. He compares them, but they're not competition. But they were saluting Chelsea Green.
Bottom line is, you're a bad American. Chelsea Green, did you see the gift? Bottom line.
And like, she's there so frequently. WWE's smart enough to don't hotshot book having Vanessa Hudgens on TV every time. If you're smart enough, you see her in the background behind Cole and that, but also they brought her in the ring after the show went off the air for the live fans. And then that, because she was just on a Raw like 2 weeks ago or whatever. So they're not hotshot booking the and it's smart and it's good, and more of her supporting wrestling, please. And I'm just so glad that she's like obviously got through the sickos who I'm sure we've covered them on the show who are like, you should watch AEW.
Oh God,
and we'll never get Kat Dennings back.
I was just going to say the same people that scared away Kat Dennings. I couldn't think of her name.
So via PW Insider, the 2026 Royal Rumble will take place in Saudi Arabia, dude. They're getting Arab money. You know that song? Is that an insensitive song to sing today? I don't know. Who made that? Was that? I forget. But either way, dude.
People that are surprised by this have not been paying attention. This was going to happen.
I know, but how do you feel about it, dude? Like, what's Punk gonna say when the blood money, suck a blood money dick or whatever he said?
Yeah, but that was how many years ago? And
I know, but still, dude, he's gonna have to eat those words. That's gonna get thrown in his face. Even me, I'm gonna have to call it out, bro. I called Sami Zayn.
Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't go. I mean, they let Kevin Owens not go for the longest time. Same with Sami. So we'll see. I also feel like they've made so much ground over there that
they have made a lot of progress. You guys got to understand, they're like letting Westerners drink there, and as long as they're super responsible in designated areas, and they're not like, women can like influencers go out there for the whatever fights are out there, these big fights, and they're allowed to like wear skirts and be normal in the designated area though. Like
Right.
you can't. Yeah, but the people who live there. Well, I don't know. It's all hearsay. I've never been there, but apparently, like the people who live there and work in these places, like hate outsiders because like they can't do any of this still. Like when they leave to their normal life or when they're on the job, they can't do any of this. So who knows? I don't know. That's a whole. I'm not sure if that's political or what that would fall under, but that's a whole other socio-economical podcast that isn't PWT. But all I'm saying is that they have made progress there. Hopefully we see more because of this. But yeah, dude, it's pretty crazy that Royal Rumble. But again, like CM Punk's worked for UFC and alongside UFC, and they've worked like he's worked for CFFC doing commentary. That's owned by the UFC, and that's an MMA organization that funnels in, you know, prospects and stuff. And I mean, they do business with Saudis and stuff. So I don't know why. Maybe Punk's stance has changed. Who knows? But is this a bad thing for the Rumble being 2 nights and being in Saudi Arabia and people on the Saudi crowds?
I don't know if it'll be 2 nights yet. They haven't. That part hasn't been announced as far as I know. But
I know, but they're saying that these events as early as 2026 could start being 2 nights as far as Rumble, Money in the Bank, etc. So why wouldn't they have a 2-night Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia, right? Like in 2026.
I could see it. I just feel like I don't know that one might be pushing it, but for the money and they'll be able to do it.
And people on the fans out there, like they're not as lit as American or like European fans, but that's why you do more wrestling shows out there, and then they learn to get that way or whatever. And I think they're lit enough. I was
the last couple, I feel like the first few people are still kind of harping on back.
I know, like they were
greatest Royal Rumble and stuff. And it's like, yeah, those were terrible.
Yeah.
But
those were like glorified.
Pretty good.
Those were like glorified house shows or like stuff or like was it like on TV
when they used to do like Rebellion in the UK specific pay-per-views. I feel like that's what that was.
But the last few have had like real storylines. Like John Cena went there and lost to Solo. You don't think he's going to try and get that lick back?
The Queen and King of the Ring where stuff mattered with like Orton and Gunther and then Nia. So I mean, I feel like they've done a lot better and will only get better too, especially with it going to Netflix and everybody being able to watch consistently now. I think it'll be a lot better.
And do you think this means we get a WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia within the next 5 years?
How long is the initial? Because they're still on that deal with them. I mean, if they renew that deal when it's up, then it's going to happen. I don't think it happens before the end of that deal, but I don't know how long. Because there was like a 10-year deal that they signed in like 17, 18, something like that. I feel like that's what the Vince's deal that he signed with them, that they make like $50 million a show or whatever it is. But I think if they renew that deal, then it will probably happen, especially if they get people more used to watching wrestling at different times with like, you know, when Raw's in Scotland and it airs at 7 a.m. here in the US or whatever, people kind of get used to it.
Well, that's the thing. Are we going to get a Mania at 1 p.m. or someone says, Dashing Purple says, yeah, but let's be happy the Saudis didn't buy WWE. True that.
Good call.
But here's the thing, though, man. Do we get like the Rumble at 1 p.m.? Do we get Mania at 1 p.m.? And I don't want that. That's going to suck. Yeah. But also, is it a big deal? I don't know, man. I get up early on Mania days. I'm pumped up. Either way, we'll see. Maybe it doesn't even happen in 2026. Liv Morgan has a WWE-sized ring and stay on top of her game.
Oh, I saw this. This was on Entertainment Tonight. She had like a 7-minute segment that came on my feed today, and I watched it. At her
she also had
Florida.
She also has 7 acres of property in Florida that she hasn't even fully explored. She doesn't even know all of her property yet. It's like, whoa. But here's the thing. If you're hitting the ropes on the left and right side of this ring and you're like a dude, you're going to bang into those walls, no? Like you can only go north-south on this.
I guess she's got the money in the bank hanging above it. Yeah, no, I said that. Those walls are pretty close.
Yeah, man. So sketchy. But either way, man, that's why she's the champ. Spending her money wisely, dude. And the money in the bank hanging above, that's cute. So here is Sami Zayn and Tonga Tonga. They're like legit throwing hands here. Let's see if we can do this. Like, did you see this live? Did you think some real was breaking out? Or let's watch it, chat. Here, let's play it through. Hopefully they're like throwing hands, dude. And I know it's probably a work and they're just working really well, but
I mean, I definitely didn't think it was anything turning into
I've seen enough. You didn't think it was a shoot?
No, I mean, but not live, but it's going so fast. You don't see replays. You don't see the close angles. So I could see it definitely being it, but
it almost seems like Uso's over here. Like, what's going on? You know, the look on his face is almost like, what's happening? This is a great work, shoot work. If they did that, I love this. And I've seen enough MMA fights where a dude's in full mount and a guy's like legitimately just barely slipping the punches, to where this is as real as you're going to get in pro wrestling. It legit looked like Sami's like barely slipping these punches and throwing live rounds back. I loved it. Let's just see it in its full, no sound. But even Graves was like, my God, like they're he's like, holy, they're like,
these are also two old workers too. So I mean, if anybody's going to pull it off, it's these guys.
Just two OGs, man. Just two OGs. Yeah. Like Moxley, who this is what I'm telling you. Like Kingston thinks this is what he's doing, bro. It's, you know, he's not doing this.
When he's doing
like
his chops in the corner, that's what he thinks he looks like.
I watched this like 1,000 times yesterday. I was like, bro, this is the closest you get to two like dudes who just know how to take like, you know, not just each other up like that. It's crazy. Anyways, round of applause for Tomat, Tonga and Sami Zayn. Where's my applause here? They added more clicks on StreamYard. How genius is this? Right before the Monday Raw, where he comes back as the final boss, he acquires almost 100,000 more shares of the company, and he's going to say that in his promo. Yeah, I've got 100,000. You know what I'm saying, dude? I own more of this company day by day. The bigger it gets, the more my stranglehold on. Well, I'm not going to do his promo, but I'm sure he'll have something in there about that. And this is intentional. He purposefully acquired this much new stocks right now, before this Monday, so that he's in the headlines, so that all of us marks are going, man, I swear he's going to be booking this in no time, because there's these marks out there who still want to believe like The Rock's actually going to take over, and that's a good thing. We need people to be worked. Vince Russo Bro claims he'd reject $1 million. Bro, when I tell you, bro, first off, Vince McMahon didn't value me, bro, and time with my children, bro, and Christ is king, bro. Vince Russo claims he'd reject a multi-million-dollar per year NXT role, bro. Me and Elbow agree, bro. This show is trash. Yeah, dude, no, Vince, you would bow down and suck toes for $1 million NXT role, or you wouldn't be bitching about your fantasy mark booking on the internet and talking about Tiffany Stratton every 2 minutes.
How does anybody still listen to that guy?
I have no idea. Yeah,
your
and
that made my head hurt, and like you just can't imagine listening to him for more than 2 minutes.
That, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for WWE News.